Good evening. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the 2009 State Speech Awards here at Belleville West High School. My name is Susie Knobloch, and I'm the administrator for individual events, among other duties at the High School Association in Bloomington. And I need to begin briefly by thanking the tremendous amount of people who supported this event today. First, I want to begin by thanking the staff and administration here at Belleville West High School. First of all, our gracious host, Adam Jenkins, and his assistant coaches, Russ and Leo Reidelberg. Thank you, guys. Tremendous work, great effort. We also have to extend our thanks to Superintendent Moats, and we'll hear briefly in a moment from the principal, Mr. Dom from Belleville West High School. Thank you very much for your administrative support. Without that support, events like this would not be possible for the many students in the state of Illinois. I also would like to recognize the sister school, Belleville East, who had support with registration and the information table from Jen Zvila and Carol Harms, who worked that the entire weekend. Thank you, ladies. And I also want to give my sincere thanks to the State Final Committee. Annually, we have a group of dedicated coaches who donate their time to come into the tab room to host regionals, host sectionals, and then serve as committee members at this tournament. And I'd like for those folks to stand while they're here in the audience. From Burbank Revis, Eric Bannock. From Pekin High School, Eric Ewan. From Downers Grove South, Jan Heiting. From Shepherd High School, Mike Jacobson. From Benton High School, Pam Kimball. From Thornton High School, Kevin Martin. From Normal West, Ellie Marvin. Rockton Hananiga High School, Matt Mazer. From Buffalo Grove, Tracy Repa. DeKalb High School, Greg Solomon. Charleston High School, Tina Weining. From Revis, Mr. Tom Whitting. And from Gurney Warren High School, Deb Woodard. And from Hinsdale Central, Paul Woods. Please, a great big round of applause for all of their help. And when the server went down today and we lost SpeechWire, I could not have been more impressed by a group of dedicated coaches that pulled out the pen and paper and started tabbing by hand to complete the tournament. So, job well done, folks. Thank you. We also need to give our thanks to Ben Stewart from SpeechWire, who provided the technical support today. Ben has done an outstanding job throughout the entire state series. Thank you very much, Ben, who's probably still doing some tabulating. And as always, we need to thank the coaches, the parents, and the participants. Without you, we could not be able to host the 69th annual State Speech Final, one of the best in the state. Thank you, guys. Before we move on to begin to crown our champions, I do want to give an introduction to a prestigious award in our office. The Illinois High School Association is governed by the National Federation of State High Schools, who encompass the 50 states and the District of Columbia. And annually, we can submit nominations for outstanding speech, drama, and debate educators. And this year, we had an outstanding nomination, and we're very pleased to find out that our nominee became the winner and recipient of the Outstanding Educator Award for Section 4, which includes the states of Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, and Wisconsin. It is my privilege to present this award to Mr. Doug Springer. If he could come forward. Mr. Springer is a coach at Winnetka New Trier High School. In grateful appreciation of outstanding service and unselfish devotion in interscholastic speech, debate, and theater, I'd like to present Douglas Springer, the NFHS Speech, Debate, and Theater Association Outstanding Educator Award. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Springer for the very first time at Pekin High School when I was a beginning coach, and he's been a great mentor ever since. So thank you, Doug. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our tournament host, Mr. Adam Jenkins.
Thank you, Susie. Good evening. This is the first chance I've gotten to talk to all of you, except for those little episodes in the cafeteria. So let me welcome you to Belleville West High School. On behalf of the staff and administration and the speech program and the parents, welcome everyone. I hope that... Really, I hope that the state tournament was everything that you hoped it would be, because really, the students are the reason why we do this. So I hope it was a wonderful experience for all 91 teams that attended this weekend. Obviously, anyone who's hosted an individual events tournament knows how much work goes into it. At the state level, it's just magnified because of all the things you have to put together. So I would be remiss if I did not mention a couple of people who were instrumental in doing this. First of all, I have to start by thanking my wife, Melanie Jenkins, and our assistant coach, and Lee Reidelberger, for organizing and running the coaches' hospitality area. Thanks to the speech parents for everything that they put together, and specifically for Alice Petrie, Tracy Woods, Lori Powell, and Ann Myrink for everything that you did for us this weekend. Thanks to Alan Kimball from Southeastern Illinois College and my former high school coach for assisting in the planning of the awards ceremony and the decorations that you saw in the lobby, which I thought looked amazing. So thank you, Alan. And finally, I would like to call to the stage someone who has just been a great help and has been very supportive in anything that needed to be done to make this state tournament happen. That is the Belleville West principal, Mr. Robert Dahm.
Mr. Jenkins, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Education, the staff and the administration, and our student body, our great student body at Belleville West, we welcome you here, and we're glad you had a great tournament. I had an opportunity to walk about the building and really step into a few of the events, and I'll tell you, if you are here in this tournament, absolutely you are the best of the best. Congratulations to all of you. I ask you to join me in one more round of applause for Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Reidelberger, and Ms. Zavela. Here at Belleville West, I talked often about having the greatest student body in the state of Illinois, but I have to tell you, we have some of the finest educators in the state of Illinois as well. We're glad you had a great event. Good luck to everyone at the national tournament if you move on, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dahm. Our theme, as you know, for the weekend was speech as your gateway to success, because we all know that the skills that we all learn in this activity help us in immeasurable ways. And of course, you saw the celebrity speeches. We thought it would be fun to feature some of those. But the people who go through programs go on to be community leaders and lawyers and doctors and teachers and all of the people who make the community great. So I just thought it would be also fun for just a second if we could recognize a couple of those people. There's a saying that success breeds success. When you've had the success that speech gives you, you want to pass that on to other people. So for just a second, if you are a coach, a parent, a judge, an observer, or anybody else in the room who used to compete in speech, but now you are just here, even though you're not competing, would you please stand for just a second so we can recognize you? and to give special thanks to people who have given so much to this activity and to their students and to education. I would like to call to the stage Miss Jan Heiteen to present the John Hires Award.
When I started coaching at Champaign Central about a bazillion years ago, it really was a bazillion years ago, I worked with I met a gentleman by the name of John Hires, who I learned a lot from in terms of coaching, and not in terms of competition as much as what it meant to teach through coaching. And I was fortunate enough to work with him for a little over 20 years at Downers Grove South. When he passed away at the beginning of this millennium, we decided, in conjunction with the Illinois High School Association and the Illinois Speech and Theater Association, to name an award in his honor that would be given to coaches who are retiring, who dedicated their time and gave their service to this activity that we all love. I think at this point there are, about 30 people are on the giant plaque. And speaking of the giant plaque, if anybody knows where it is, we'd like it back. It really is missing. So, it's a perpetual plaque. It's lovely. It's about this large, and it has a lot of. Has anybody seen it at all? John probably has it. He was kind of a miscreant, and lots of fun, mostly because he really, really loved speech. And the people that we honor today who are retiring are also dedicated individuals. One of them had to leave early this evening. From Morris High School, Mr. David Rice was honored earlier in the tab room. So if you could applaud really loud, he's on the way back to Morris. Our second recipient this evening is retiring after many years of service, even though she is only 29 years old. I'm kidding about that. She's 39. Her service to Warren Township High School over the past years has been extraordinary. She directs, she teaches, she's been an administrator, and she has coached speech tirelessly for many, 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 many years. I have had the privilege of, for those of you that thought it was funny last year that I said that Mr. Zurzan was a good dinner companion, I've had more dinners with her than Mr. Zurzan, for those of you that were wondering. And I was embarrassed afterwards that I had said that, but nonetheless, I am so proud to call to the stage Dr. Deb Woodard, who, she's on her way. I'll give her enough time to walk, who has not only been an amazing coach, an amazing teacher, an amazing director, but just as fabulous of a friend. I am proud to call her my friend and my colleague, and I'm proud that we do the same thing. Deb, are you moving toward me? There she is. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan, and without further ado, the part that you're waiting for. Let's get on to crowning the state champions. Assistant coaches Russ and Lee Reidelberger will help with the awards. We're going to begin with performance in the round. We will call off 8th place up through 4th. And when I do that, I would like for those casts to stand and be recognized, please. And then when we get to 3rd, 2nd, and of course the state champion, we will call you to the stage to award you your plaque, and also the IHSA photographer will take your picture here. So again, if you could stand and be recognized. A finalist, the cast from Plainfield North. In 6th place, the cast from Carbondale. In 4th place, the cast from Chicago Heights, Marion. If the third place team would come forward on the stage to be recognized and to accept your plaque, the cast of Downers Grove South. In second place, again, if you could come forward and accept your plaque, the cast from Oaklawn Richards. And your state champion in performance in the round, coming forward to perform, of course. We won't need the music this time, just an in-house note. No, the other two were good. I'm just saying they're about to perform. So, in first place, your state champion, Homewood Flossmoor.
I guess we best start by knowing her true name. It was Dessa Rose.
We are descended from a long, strong line of women. We are descended. We are descended from a long, strong line of and we are handing you down a story. Listen, child, to the stories to be yours to tell. One long gone summer of blood and glory and hell.
At my age, my mind wanders some. That is why I tell you children the story of ours and why I have you say it back. I hope you will never forget what it cost us to own our own selves.
Mothers, families, lovers,
friends, and girlhood itself. We have paid for our children's place in this world.
we have paid again and again.
And this must never.
It was 1847, near as I can figure. And Dessa Rose was somewhere around 15 or 16 years old then. Field hand on the home farm of Master Robert Steele. She was kept there with a mammy, a sensible woman named Rose. Dessa Rose, next time you see a white person, you look down. Ain't nothing but trouble in them blue eyes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Dessa loved and was loved by a boy named Cain. He was like sunshine, she used to say, like sunshine and thunder. Fearless and foolish as they both was, they would have followed their hearts straight to hell from one another.
This is Cain.
Someone, hey, hey, coming down the corner, just darling on my day. Coming down the corner, Dessa Rose. Your game is calling, night is falling, day is done. Hey, hey, Cain is coming, calling his woman. Look at here.
It all started with that fan jar.
Cain, you made that?
Stole me some good parchment, seasoned the wood myself. And this here is horsehair from the tail of Miss Lady's own bay mare.
Well, if you play too loud, you call down the devil.
Tell him come, he'll soon be dancing to my tune. Hey, hey.
Oh, slavery didn't do away with love, child. Not love nor heroism. It provided expressions for their occasions. Now, Dessa and Cain loved whenever they could find a few secret minutes. They loved day or night. And before long, they had made a baby. That's a Rose. It's your first child. Now, the master won't think nothing of it if you was to lose it. Now, go see Aunt Maphonia like I say. She knows what to do.
Cain, I want it and don't want it. Don't want no child of mine born into this.
I have seen 11 of my children sold away or dead. You are my last, and I don't want your heart broke so young.
Mammy, we made this child. Won't let you come between. Mammy, I'm almost 16.
That's a Rose.
I know my mind. I know my feelings. Sure of myself in every bone. I've got this child inside me. Got me something of my own.
You do what I say.
Okay. Inside my heart, I feel him flutter. The tenderest thing I've ever known. It's like this child has freed me, given me something of my own.
Dessa Rose, I chose you. You choose.
I can be strong as thunder with his hand in mine. Tenderly sign asunder, cause the sun to shine. Teach him every word and wonder, like you taught me. And when I come to name this baby, I will only name him Free.
Rose! My wife looking for you. Get up in that house now.
Yes, master.
And you're supposed to be weeding them tomatoes, not planting seeds in this winch all day. Give me this band jar. Maybe your work when there's nothing to play.
You had no call to bring
Can't make that
That band jar is mine.
You telling me what to do? I own that band jar the same as I own you. Now get back to the house, or your nigger heads will be the next thing I crack.
Kate, no, stop it! Kate, no! Kate, no! Kate, no! Why? Why you kill him?
That's a Rose.
I'll kill him! That's up!
Get down.
They whipped her and branded her, not on her back where it would show, but down below around her private places. You see, when they went to sell her, they didn't want to show no signs of disobedience. They didn't want to damn you good. Then they locked her in the sweat box, left her in the heat. No air, no room for her head nor her feet.
2 days without water, not a drop nor a cup.
But I seen her come out. I was there when they carried her out.
And she
stood up. She was sold off to Wilson, a traitor in the flesh. Chained to the gospel, and it don't smoke.
And master still saying they go.
Ain't no one thing.
No one thing.
Look under them clothes. Don't damn it for good.
Don't damn it to good.
Don't scar where it snows. So.
let you stumble.
Ain't gonna let them drag you.
We gonna sing real slow. Now you hang on. Hey. Hey, what's your name? Look at them stars. Right there, the drinking gold, see?
Looks like a god, all right.
That's the bear. And them the 7 sisters, all dancing in the sky. Go on, make a wish.
My mammy says, wish ain't nothing but a whipping. Brings you nothing but pain.
And then she never met my own personal star. See there? Right next to the moon. Little star shining bright, give your friends a wish tonight. Wish we may, wish we might be free. Free, little star shining bright, give your friends a wish tonight. Wish you may, wish you might be free. And we'll go dancing in the sky. Wait and see. When we're free, when you're free.
My name is Dessa. Dessa Rose.
Oh, look, her eyes is closed.
No, they ain't.
That baby needs some rest. By the look of it, your baby's coming soon. Dessa, the moment you give birth, your baby will be so.
Our baby will be so.
I tore you some sassafras. Cool your feet while you sleep. Give you sweet dreams. Just what you deserve is all.
What for?
We seen you stand up, covered in blood, but standing up. She's asleep. You gotta help. Wish you may, wish you might be free.
Weeks, then months on the road passed in this fashion. Whispered words amongst friends, but blind, exhausted sleep. Until one night, outside Linden, the slaves were lying down, sleeping.
Hey, pretty girl. I got something for you. Baby must be swelling the ankles. There, let me help you. There. Ain't that better? You have it. I am pleased. Now,
They brought her to Ruth's door already in labor. They tore away her skirt, and that's when I saw her scars. Lord God, what man could have mutilated her that way? And I had no time to think.
Mommy! This baby's blood, I need nothing! Bear down! Bear down! You gotta help her, bear down! Push!
Baby's coming!
Push!
Where my baby at?
Oh, she's right here.
Give me my baby. Give me my baby.
We'll stop all that ruckus. Here. who her real mammy is.
I'm your mammy, Dessa Rose. You had a daddy named Kane. You got aunts and uncles. You got all the family you're ever gonna need. A long, strong line of them. And ain't no white man ever gonna name you a slave. Your daddy wouldn't allow that. And I'm gonna teach you all the names of your kin, like my mammy taught me. And my mammy is now your grandmammy. Her name is Rose. And I made a promise to your grandmammy and your daddy. When we get north, you'll have your name.
My mammy's name was Dessa Rose. And my name is Free.
Once again, accepting their medals and their state championship plaque, the cast from Homewood Flossmoor. In dramatic duet acting, there were 6 finalists. In 6th place, from Neuqua Valley, Alex Hensel and Joey Kim. Would you like them off stage left? Okay. For the remaining finalists, we'll have you exit stage left and you'll have your picture taken right here. In 5th place, from Elk Grove, Patrick Connigan and Kenton Wyckoff. In 4th place, from New Trier, Frank Austin and Hannah Bazramovic. In 3rd place, from Lincoln, Cody Follis and Kaylin Engelhart. Your state runner-up in dramatic duet acting. From Warren, Jonathan Socolo and Trey Caldwell. I'll do it after you. And your state champions in dramatic duet acting are from Thornridge, Darnell Timms and Blake Morris.
I heard a song. The song was simple, much more simple than what he usually played. I was walking past the music room when I heard it. I don't know if he had a dog, but maybe he did, and maybe he played that song because his dog died too.
No one is supposed to be in here.
You've gotten a lot better. You mind if I listen for a while? My dog died. He had rabies. They had to put him under. Have you ever had somebody close to you die and it's like you can't stop thinking about them or what's happened to them? It's like you're stuck in this morbid place and there's so much death that it makes you think your head is gonna explode. Makes you think you're not even there, you know, that maybe you dead too.
You haven't said anything to me in years except to call me a fag or to dislocate my shoulder, and now all of a sudden I get a monologue about your dead dog. Look, I don't care. I don't care about you or your vacant mind or your morbid curiosities or your dead dog, so you can just leave.
As the saying goes, some friendships are seasonal.
And others last for a lifetime.
After Beethoven was sexually taken advantage of by his sick father, losing all respect from his peers,
and years later, after the death of CB's dog,
the two come together to rekindle their friendship,
discovering that it's much more than a season.
Dog Sees God, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead.
By Bert V. Royal.
Wait, I never dislocated your shoulder?
Yeah, well, according to my doctor, you did.
Oh, man, we were just playing with you.
Oh, well, that makes it feel a lot better.
Hey, listen, man, I was not the one who dislocated your shoulder.
Yeah, well, you didn't stop it either. You stood idly by and you watched.
Well, maybe if you didn't act so...
What? What? How do I act?
Gay?
And how does someone act gay? What, by playing the piano? You know, maybe I'll stop carrying around a pink purse or openly fornicating in plain view of the student body.
Hostile, and I'm just trying to talk to you like a civilized human being.
Look, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to be left alone. I don't need social pointers.
This is why you don't have any friends.
Oh, I think we both know why I don't have any friends. CB, what happened? I mean, we used to be best friends. We all were.
Nobody knew what to say to you after your parents got arrested. The hell, man, it was awkward.
Yeah, well, it was more awkward for me.
Listen, man, look, I'm sorry we weren't there for you.
Thanks. That means a lot.
Wait, were you being sarcastic?
No, I wasn't. What?
It's hard to tell with you sometimes. So, truce?
CB, we weren't fighting a war or anything. Okay, truce. Charlie Brown.
Hey, don't you call me that.
Hey, I had to get you back.
So, are you?
I don't know. I mean, I never had sex before.
Man, yeah, but what about
my dad? I don't think that's considered sex.
Hey, Hey, do you remember how my dog used to howl whenever you played the piano?
Yeah, I always found it pretty insulting.
Man, he was singing along. Okay, so tell me, what do you think happens to pets when they die?
I don't know, they go to heaven.
You believe in heaven?
Sure, I mean, there has to be some reward for having to live through all of this.
Okay, but my dog killed a living thing. Won't God be mad?
Well, I mean, your dog was 60, B. He couldn't help it. He was sick.
I've grown up questioning everything. Everyone always told me that what I was doing was wrong, and it made me so self-conscious about everything that I do. I'm always wondering what people are going to say or what people are going to think. But when I was with him, I didn't wonder. Because I didn't care.
In dramatic interpretation, there were 6 finalists. In 6th place, from Pearl City, Becca Faust. In 5th place, from Thornwood, Senard Scott. In 4th place, from Charleston, Taylor Adams. In 3rd place, from Downers Grove South, Jenny McCarthy. In 2nd place, from Wheaton North, Tierra Novi. And your state champion in dramatic interpretation, from Warren, Trey Caldwell. Warren Trey Caldwell.
My mother and I always kept an open line of communication. That is until my father died, then, I don't know. Something happened. She clammed up. I mean, we saw each other more than ever. We just managed to say less than ever. It became a contest to see who could talk the most but say the least. I believe the root of it was my father's death. I mean, I don't know. She refused to talk about it or about how she was coping alone. But I was living with Alan then, so I always had a source of subject matter in him, you know? Oh, and she knew Alan, and they got along just fine, just as long as, just as long as I didn't call him my lover. She used to call him my friend. And then Alan died, and I was expected to observe the same vow of silence about him as she had about my father. And we learned to make meaningful conversation about the news, general health, my brother's marital status. You know, I never even told her how Alan was killed. She assumed it was a car wreck. And I just didn't bother correcting her. Working on putting his life back together after the violent death of his partner, Arnold is in the process of adopting a son. But he knows that his mother will not be supportive and struggles to find the delicate balance between respecting his mother's wishes and doing what is right by his adopted son, David. Widows and Children First, by Harvey Fierstein. Now, I knew my mother would never really accept the idea of my adopting David. She could barely accept the fact that I was gay, so I just didn't tell her. And she knew David was living here. It's just she thought he was my roommate, and I just didn't bother telling her the truth. So she comes to visit, and within 3 minutes of arriving, manages to insult the plane ride, my apartment, my personal hygiene, oh, and of course, my sense of humor. So she meets David, and he spills the beans about the adoption, and she just explodes. She was furious. And she tells me that the reason that I didn't tell her was because I knew that it was wrong. I explained to her that Alan and I had put in the application more than 2 years ago, and with everything else, I forgot. And then one day came along, and the foster parent program called and said they had David for us. And I told them what happened to Alan. They said I'd probably have David anyway. I was thrilled. I was overjoyed. And Ma had the nerve to tell me that the lifestyle that I chose is a sickness, and that this sickness and children just don't mix. She couldn't understand what I was trying to prove. She couldn't understand why I wanted a child. Why I wanted him. This is a woman with 2 children she doted on our entire lives. She couldn't understand why I wanted a child. Why I wanted someone, a family to love, just like every other straight person in the world just takes for granted. And then suddenly, everything she'd been holding in since my father's death just comes gushing out at me. How dare I compare my relationship with Alan to her marriage of 35 years? How could I possibly know what it's like to experience loss? How dare I? Because I couldn't possibly know what it's like to pack someone's clothes in plastic bags and watch the garbage pickers carry them away. Or what it's like to forget and set his place at the table. Or how about all the food that rots in the refrigerator because you forgot how to shop for one? How dare I? Right, Ma? How dare I say that I loved him? I mean, you had it easy, Ma. You lost your husband in a nice, clean hospital. I lost mine out there, on the street. 23 years old, lying dead in the street, killed by kids with baseball bats. Children. Children taught by people like you, because everybody knows that queers don't matter. Queers don't love, and those that do deserve what they get. Right, Ma? I know she would rather I was straight, but I'm not. I wanted to be a part of my life, and I wanted to be a part of David's life, but I am not going to edit out the things she doesn't like. I have taught myself to cook, to clean, to do my taxes. I can even pat myself on the back when necessary. Also, that I don't have to ask anyone for anything. The only things I need from anyone are love and respect. And anyone who can't give me those two things has absolutely no place in my life. And she is my mother. And I love her. I really do. But if she can't respect me, then she has no business being here. And the thing is I don't know how to tell her that the one thing I want more than anything else in the whole world is to have exactly the same life that she had. With a few minor alterations. I mean, my parents, they were really something together. And in the way they made my brother and I feel like we were the smartest, most talented, most important two people in the whole world. It didn't matter what we did, whether it was good or bad. I mean, my God, it was the best. And I know that's how I want to make my David feel. And I will.
There were 6 finalists in extemporaneous speaking. In 6th place, from Neuqua Valley, Sarah Zufan. In 5th place, from Charleston, Colin Roberts. In 4th place, from Glenbard West, Michael LaPechulo. In 3rd place, from Downers Grove South, Adam Case. In 2nd place, from Fremd, Stephen Whitfield. And your tournament champion is from Belleville West, Jessica Petrie.
We in the United States are used to being the nation in the world. We are the military superpower. We produce the most obnoxious pop stars. Need I even mention any names? And we are the economic superpower. And with this attitude, it is difficult for us to take advice from other nations to learn how to do anything because we're so used to telling other people how to run their countries. But yet some numbers may prove that we need to learn things from other people. An Economist article from January 31st and earlier this year explained that China is growing at a rate of 5 to 6% for 2009, while the US economy is expected to contract by 1.5%. Obviously, China is doing something right, and we need to examine what we can learn. China's robust growth has led many Americans to wonder, what can the Western world learn from China with regards to growth? The answer to this question is that we can learn two things. First of all, we can examine what China has done right in embracing globalization. And secondly, we can examine the pitfalls that China has had with too much state intervention. But first, keeping it positive, let's examine what China has done to become such a powerful economy, one that has earned such cool nicknames as the global economic engine and the fire-breathing dragon that has just woken up to its full economic potential. One of the things they have done is embraced globalization and free trade. So first of all, we will examine why globalization has helped China, and then what this means for the United States and the Western world. Chen Denning, the financial minister for the People's Republic of China, published an editorial piece in the Wall Street Journal from February 18th of this year, explaining that he was proud that China had always opened its borders to globalization. He believes that the increase of foreign capital has helped make China's businesses competitive on a world stage, as money from around the world has flowed into the country, allowing the businesses to become some of the most efficient and productive businesses in the entire world. In addition to this, Bloomberg.com on February 6th of earlier this year explained that in China, because of the lower trade barriers and easy global trading rules, China can get goods cheaper from the rest of the world. This allows their people to buy goods at a lower price and forces Chinese businesses to be competitive and innovative because they have to compete against the rest of the world. Globalization has helped China, and unfortunately, the Western world is forgetting this lesson. So we will examine how the Western world needs to learn from China that free trade is a good thing. The Heritage Foundation on January 30th explained that in the United States there is a movement towards the Buy American provision of the stimulus bill, which would say that any manufacturing done in the stimulus package must be done with goods manufactured in the United States, even if this means that taxpayers are spending more money because we could get the goods cheaper if we bought them from somewhere else in the world. People in the United States may feel that this will make us more strong in manufacturing, but what they don't realize is that, as the Economic Policy Research Council pointed out in an article published on January 31st of this year, if the United States were to set up more trade barriers like the Buy American provisions, it could set off a domino effect around the world of higher tariffs and stricter trading guidelines. We, as the United States, make billions of dollars every year in foreign markets, from Australia to Germany to Zimbabwe. And if we start this domino effect of higher trading tariffs, we're going to lose money around the world. Now, the United States is not the only one making this mistake by slapping away globalization in favor of protectionism. Another Economist article from January 23rd states that in Britain and throughout Europe, there have actually been riots where laborers want more trade tariffs. But little do they realize that a trade war or higher prices for consumers because of tariffs is not a good thing for any economy. So the Western world can learn from China that globalization is good. But China is not a perfect economic model. But we can learn from that too. Some of the best experiences to learn from are the experiences you never have to go through. You can just look at someone else's mistake and say, oh, gee, that was bad, I'm not going to do that. And that's exactly what we can do with China and the amount of state intervention they have had. because the Cato Institute, in a January 14th article from this year, explained that China's government prematurely burst a housing bubble that was forming in China. This was a very minor bubble and may have been harmless. But because the Chinese government thought it could regulate the housing market with its all-knowing economic wisdom, it burst the bubble too early, bringing down the entire collapse of the housing construction companies in China. And this, according to the Phoenix Business Journal, from January 17th of this year, has brought economic chaos to China. Now, China's economy was growing at a rate of 18%, but is now only down to 6%. A vast majority of this because of the loss of construction and housing, as property values have fallen 40 to 50%. And much of this was because of the mistakes that the state planners made within the Chinese government. Now, there is a lesson to be learned in this, that in our world, with the global financial crisis that we are going to, there is a movement to bring on more government intervention. But what we have to realize is that market forces can do more than any state central planning committee ever could. This was explained in an article by the New York Times from January 16th of this year, which explained that in the United States, quasi-nationalization is going on with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Even the car industry, the United States government is choosing the winners and the losers, and this is going on in Europe as well. But what we have to realize is that the market forces are better able to regulate the economy than a central planner. And so it is time that we take a look at China, realize the pitfalls of state intervention, and allow Adam Smith's invisible hand back into the world of economics, where once again market forces can begin to play out for the best possible economic growth. So, what can the Western world learn from China regarding economic growth? There is actually much to be learned. We can see the positives of embracing globalization and the negatives of embracing state interventionism. By examining these two things, we can realize that as great as the Western world may be, I mean, we have Britney Spears and Paris Hilton, and that's got to count for something. But that doesn't mean we don't have anything to learn. And by examining China, we can take a look at lessons we can take to heart to make our economy stronger in years to come.
There were 8 finalists in the final round of humorous duet acting. A finalist from Bolingbrook, Chris Harris and Ernest Bell. A finalist from Belleville East, Jordan Johnson and Matt Sobule. In 6th place, from Harvey Thornton, Nora Carroll and Shannon Ingram. In 5th place, from Glen Ellen, Glenbard West, Eric Baker and Grace Carey. In 4th place, from Byron, Trent Icefeller and Haley Armstrong. In 3rd place, from Chicago Heights, Marion, Jonathan Williamson and Chris Skirka. Your state runners-up, from Gurney Warren, Arvin Hosseina and Ivy Ford.
And your state champion in humorous duet acting from Elk Grove Village, Patrick Conahan and Kevin Portman.
Hey, you in the pants!
Hey, gorgeous!
Hey, do you want to go for a ride?
Hey, we're going to a party. You want to go to a party, huh?
I think I love you.
Well, that's a little rude.
Wow.
I'm your friend there. So you want to go to a party, huh?
I love
party.
you. I mean
party.
I want you.
Are they looking?
No.
Snob.
Stuck-up's what they are.
Damn right.
Yeah. Dude, just
there we
come
go.
on, let me out, dude. Oh.
Dave and Lewis.
Lewis and Dave.
A couple of guys who just can't behave. The bestest of friends since they were this tall. When together they have such a ball. You'll love them, Dave, Lewis, and Dave.
You just can't hate them.
Dave, Lewis, and Dave. Lock up your daughters. Dave, Lewis, and Dave. Ah! Lewis and Dave.
By Norm Foster. Oh, God. I love Saturday nights, man.
Oh, they're the best, dude.
How long have we been doing this now, Dave?
Forever.
It's like clockwork, right?
Every Saturday.
Oh, we are so gonna score one of these nights, bro.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely. Okay.
Hey, the boss is gonna be in town next Thursday. Do you wanna go?
Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
He's gonna be in town.
Next Thursday.
Are you kidding me?
No.
All right. Dig it.
All right, man. I'm getting tickets.
Oh, wait. I can't go.
Why not?
My book club meets every Thursday.
Your what?
My book club. Damn, talk about bad luck.
The hell's a book club?
It's a book club. We meet every Thursday and, well, read books.
What kind of books?
All kinds. Anything from Hemingway to Plato to even Camus.
You mean that killer whale thing?
No, that's Shamu. This is Camus. He's a French writer. An existentialist. No. Okay. Oh, babe alert, babe alert, babe alert.
Woo!
Check out those ladies.
Girl.
Hey, babe. Is that dress felt? You want it to be?
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Wait, no. Where you go? Wait, no. Hey, do you want to get together tomorrow and watch some football?
Yeah, football. They're playing the Packers tomorrow, right?
Packers and Bears, a classic. Bears.
I can't go.
Why not?
What a day for the symphony to be in town, you know?
The what?
The symphony. They're giving a concert tomorrow and I got tickets.
The symphony?
I mean, I'd skip it, but it's smaller, so.
Well, it's smaller than what?
No, not smaller, Mahler. He's a composer.
Since when did you go to the symphony?
I always go whenever they're in town.
You never told me this.
Are you sure?
Dude, I would have remembered.
What, you want to go sometime?
I'm sorry?
I mean, they'll be in town again soon. You want to go?
Let me get back to you on that one, okay?
Sure, yeah, sure. Oh, dude, you want to talk about nice babes?
Yeah.
All right, so I was at this Women for a Better Future rally last night, and bro, you should have seen some of the action. I am talking mega hot.
Women for a what?
Women for a Better Future. Oh, It's this organization that's trying to bring the plight of today's single mother to the government's attention, you know? I mean, trying to make daycare more accessible. Oh, hey, sweet cakes. Your daddy a baker? Because you got a nice son of bun.
Dave.
What?
Did you ever get this feeling? Maybe we're drifting apart.
Drifting apart?
Yeah.
Dude, get serious. We're like brothers. We're practically mirrored images of each other. Hands up.
Okay. Whoa. Just stop it. It's too fast, man. It's too fast.
You know, Camus has a theory about mirrored images.
Okay, Dave.
What?
Not now, huh?
Hey, you know what I think it is? I think you're just a little miffed because I can't go to that Bruce Springsteen show with you.
No.
Well, listen. Let me make it up to you.
How?
Well, the National Ballet is giving a concert in 2 weeks, and I want you to be my guest.
What?
You won't have to pay a cent.
You go to the ballet too?
No, dude. I'm in it.
What? Oh my.
I'm not the principal dancer or anything. I'm just in the chorus. Oh no. What's the matter, Louis? You gonna Ralph?
No, I'm gonna be fine. How long have you been with the ballet?
I don't know, about 2 years.
2 years, huh? And you didn't even tell me?
Hey! We're nothing special. We put on our tights one leg at a time, just like any other ballet company.
I gotta go.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I've just got a lot to think about.
I'll skip Mahler. It's not like it's Brahms or Mozart or anything.
You never told me none of the stuff about the symphony or the books or the tights. Nothing.
You're right, Louis. I haven't.
Well, why?
Well, I guess I figured that if you found out all this stuff about me, you wouldn't want to hang out with me anymore.
What?
Yeah. Oh, man. You know about me being an intellectual and all?
So, you're an intellectual, huh?
Yeah.
I feel used, Dave.
I know.
I feel cheap.
I know.
Well, you're not interested in politics, too, are you? I gotta go, you know?
Wait, Louis, don't hate me, all right? I mean, I hope we can part as friends.
Hey.
Yeah?
You think that I could be in the ballet, too?
Absolutely not.
There were 6 finalists in the final round of humorous interpretation. In 6th place, from Belleville East, Jordan Johnson. In 5th place, from Downers Grove North, Travis True. In 4th place, from Palo Heights Shepherd, Amy Romelli. In third place, from South Holland Thornwood, Darius Leaks. Your state runner-up, from Aurora, Waubonsee Valley, Ali Schweitzel. And your state champion in humorous interpretation, from Gurney Warren, Jonathan Socolo.
To quote Wally exactly,
Frog! Oh, how good it is to see you! What are you doing here this time?
Oh, Betty, my pet, hello. Listen, there's this bloke, a mate of mine. I've brought him along. Now, he's a terrific fella, but he doesn't speak a word of English. Now, I've got my orders, and I can't say too much. But I will tell you this. If someone were trying to see a foreigner, a real one, they wouldn't have to look much farther. Well, my land, how exciting! A real foreigner? What's his name? Charlie. Well, actually, it's Cha-O-Lay, but I calls him Charlie.
Is this Charlie?
Hello, Charlie! If you could excuse us for just a moment, pet. Charlie, I fixed it for you. I've told the old woman that you can't speak a word of English, so you don't have to worry about a thing. You just sit here and you get over your depression. You're a foreigner, Charlie. It's a brilliant plan. Froggy and his terribly shy and depressed friend Charlie drop in on some of Froggy's old friends. People with hearts of gold, but brains of mush. Charlie finds it difficult to converse with just about anybody, but Froggy will fix that for him. By telling a little white lie, he makes Charlie the foreigner, by Larry Shue. Hello, Froggy. Oh, this is a terrible plan. These people won't leave me alone for a minute. That old woman won't stop shouting at me, and that poor boy Allard. Oh no, here they come now. I don't think I can last 3 more days here, Frog. Oh, bye. Good morning, Charlie. Are you ready to have some nice breakfast with Allard? We should name him Buddy. He already has a name, Allard. Don't you, Charlie? Buddy's my favorite name. If I ever catch me that chipmunk, that's what I'm gonna name him. Buddy the Chipmunk. Allard, you couldn't catch the damn chipmunk if both of its legs were broken and it was glued to the palm of your hand. Now sit down and eat your breakfast. Now wild is a fork. Can you say fork? Fork. Fork. Work. 2 parts. Work. Work. Oh, what? That's real good, Charlie. That's real good. Now, can you say my name? Can you say Allard? Redneck. Allard. Good. What are you doing with poor Charlie? Well, I'm learning, Charlie, how to speak proper American, that's all. Hello, all. I'm back. Buddy, my pet, hello. How's it been going these few days? Oh, Frog, we've just been having the best of time. That Charlie of yours is just remarkable. Not a minute goes by that he isn't saying or doing something real cute and strange. Oh, really? I thought he'd be a bit shy around here. I mean, back in his native land, he's quite the rock-on too. You know, jokes, amusing stories. Charlie. Tell us a story! Sorry, mate. Poco, Don, Faneos, Storeos. La martushke pastolocuño. Priste hasta lo pisti. Y abacolo shinto este. Y a este ishkokolo. Y abriste tabacolo geste por la pasta.
Adios, Mamsk. Hapni, skipni, hapni, skipni.
Pero lasto ten esto pisto iston wofni. I a wofni is brosni. Brosni, brosni.
Hapni, skipni,
Brosni.
hapni, skipni,
Brosni.
hapni, skipni,
Brosni. Blitz? Oh, Charlie, you old storyteller, yo! Wow, Charlie, that was real good. Oh, and that part about the tractor, oh, that was just my favorite part. Well, thank you. Oh, well, he's picked up a bit of English, I see. Oh, yes, last night, Ellard teach me to read book. Oh, and how long it take him to do that? About an hour. Here, I show you. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely, and more temperate. Yes? Oh, Ellen, all of that from just an hour? Well, that is remarkable. No. Remember how long it took me to read? About 3 years. I guess he just had a better teacher. Well, seeing as how things are going so well around here, I better hop it on back to work. Walk me to the door, will you, Charlie? So, this turned out to be a brilliant plan after all, eh? Oh, Frog, this is an amazing plan. These are the most wonderful people in the world, and I've never been so happy in all my life. Thanks, Froggy. Thank you for making me the foreigner.
There were 8 finalists in the final round of impromptu speaking. A finalist from Oswego East, Luis Alcantara. A finalist from Oak Lawn Richards, Brian Greco. In 6th place, from Downers Grove North, Elizabeth McKay. In 5th place, from Libertyville, Omar Jamil. In 4th place, from Glenbard West, Michael Lopasciolo. In 3rd place, from Schaumburg, Tim Zakis. In 2nd place, from Downers Grove South, Chelsea Rice Davis. And your state champion in impromptu speaking, from Coal City, John Marsalia.
I gave this speech a while ago, so I need a note card. That's gonna take too long. I love sports. The only problem is I have no natural athletic ability whatsoever. But surprisingly, I have a natural amount of coordination. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, with your coordination, your red hair, your awesome physique, you must be a hardcore hip-hop dancer. And I can assure you, you're right. Dancing is something that I love to do, primarily hip-hop dancing. So much so that I was able to travel overseas to Europe, where I got to share my love of dance with people all over the world, from Germany, Austria, and Italy. Who would have known the Europeans love Thriller so much? But dancing, however, has not gained the approval from my classmates. I have received constant criticism for them. But what I know is that dancing is something that I am proud of, and it is something that I take pride in myself, for it is something that I would say I'm good at. So when we look at today's prompt, that's how I roll. Well, we can see that dancing is exactly the way I roll. But ultimately, what today's prompt is telling us is that our own personal drive and confidence will push us further than any external characteristic ever would. But by looking at my own personal example about my hardcore hip-hop dancing, we cannot get a full understanding of just how important our own personal drive and confidence is. We must now look at it through 3 distinct examples. First, we will look to the cinematic world with the movie Napoleon Dynamite. Next, we will look into the life of one of the most well-known guitarists of all time, Jimi Hendrix. And finally, we will look into the literature world with the novel, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. So first, let us look into the cinema world at the 2005 cult classic, Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite depicts the story of Napoleon, a social outcast growing up in a high school in Boise, Idaho. Well, a new kid moves to town, Pedro, and Pedro too is a social outcast. So together, they decide for Pedro to run for the class presidency. Now, what made them successful in the long run, however, was not Napoleon's sweet dance moves, as awesome as they were. What it was, however, was the personal perseverance and inner drive that they had. No, they were not the quarterback of the football team. No, they were not the cheerleader. They weren't Summer, but they were able to persevere. They had nothing to lose and everything to gain, and Pedro and Napoleon knew this. Now, running for class president was the way they rolled. They decided that they had nothing to lose, so they pushed forward and strived to reach their goal, which Pedro ultimately succeeded in becoming the class president. But by looking at Napoleon Dynamite, we cannot get a clear understanding of that's how I roll, and how personal confidence and inner drive is worth more than any external characteristic. We must now look at the life of one of the most well-known guitarists, Mr. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was recently named the greatest guitarist of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. And yes, many people know Jimi Hendrix for playing his solos with his teeth and playing Woodstock while tripping on acid. Yeah. But what most people don't understand about Jimi Hendrix, however, is that he is actually part Native American. And one of his primary goals in making music was to make a name for the Native American culture. Jimi Hendrix, by playing all this music, decided that he was going to express his views. And along the way, he gained some economic and cultural success. But to him, what made him successful was that own personal drive and perseverance that he had. If he were to simply sit back, unlike Napoleon and Pedro, and realize that he could not go out there because he didn't have any talent, well, obviously, we wouldn't have Purple Haze playing on our iPods. But it's because that he had that inner drive and self-confidence that he was able to succeed in becoming one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Finally now, we must take a look into the literature world with the novel, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, besides being a book with a very long title, is a story about a young boy named Christopher. Now, Christopher, we believe, suffers from autism or some sort of mental defect. But while Christopher, however, is going through his everyday schooling and seeing his therapist, he realizes that there is something else that he wants to know in life. He has a greater question. What happened to his mother? His father told him ever since he was very young that his mother had passed away from a rare heart condition. Well, Christopher, however, while discovering one day in his father's closet, he stumbles upon a box full of letters addressed to him from his mother. Christopher soon realized that his mother was actually living 20 miles away in a different London flat with another man. But Christopher, however, decided that he was going to find his mother, for he loved her at one time and realized that if he was going to sit back and not do anything, he would never be able to experience that love once again. And people told Christopher all throughout his schooling that he wasn't capable of anything because he suffered from a mental defect. But he broke all those stereotypical boundaries, and because of his inner drive and self-perseverance, he was able to find his mother and eventually live with her and spend the rest of his life with her. So, what exactly have we determined with today's prompt? That's how I roll. Well, first we established how important it is to have that inner drive and self-confidence in order for us to persevere and be successful, for no other external characteristics are going to help us. We first saw this through the movie Napoleon Dynamite. Next, through the life of Mr. Jimi Hendrix. And finally, through the novel The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. So, although I still dance, and I'm still practicing up for our annual talent show where I will be showing off my hip-hop moves, we, however, need to learn that if we cannot have that inner self-drive and worth, that we are not going to be able to be successful in anything. And because I am successful in my dancing, it's only because that I have believed in myself. Because dancing, well, that's the way I roll.
There were 6 finalists in the final round of oratorical declamation. In 6th place, from Mount Prospect, Evelyn Smith. In 5th place, from Olympia Fields, Rich Central, Jacoby Cochran. In 4th place, from Glenbrook South, Patrick Laurie. In 3rd place, from Charleston, Taylor Adams. Your state runner-up, from Wheaton, Warrenville South, Chris Gwynn. And your state champion, from Thorn Ridge, Blake Morris.
My immigrants, struck out, never be
pushed westward against They say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots. I give a holler to my sisters on welfare. Tupac cares if don't nobody else care. And I know they like to beat you down a lot, cause when they come around the block, brothers clown a lot. But please don't cry, dry your eyes, never let up. Forgive and don't forget, girl, keep your head up. Now, when I was growing up, one major thing with me was that I didn't fit in. Man, I was lonely. And I used to write a lot of songs, like real love songs. And I wrote a lot of poetry. And I kept this little book, a diary. And in my little diary, I once wrote that I am going to be famous. For almost a decade, Tupac Shakur's image in the media was described as everything that is wrong with rap, race, and society in America. And in 1995, he sat within the prison walls of Rikers Island State Penitentiary, where he told the editors of Vibe magazine, "This is my last interview. If I get killed, I want people to know the whole truth." It turns out that this was Shakur's last interview, because he was killed only 1 year later. But these last words of his spoke to millions of Americans and reminded us all that our goal in life is not to live forever, but to leave a legacy that will. Ready to Live by Tupac Amaru Shakur. Well, my first 2 days in prison, I had to go through life. I was sitting in a cell and there were two people there, good and evil, and that was the hardest part. After that, I started doing 1,000 push-ups for myself, reading whole books in one day and writing, and that put me in a peace of mind. Then I started thinking about my situation and what got me here, and I realized that even though I'm innocent of the charges they gave me, I'm not innocent in terms of the way I was acting. I'm just as guilty for not doing anything as I am for doing things, and it's not just with this case, but with my life in general. I had a job to do, and I never showed up for it. But now I realize that whether I show up for work or not, the evil forces are going to be at me 100%. So if I'm not 100% pure-hearted, I'm gonna lose. And that's why I'm losing. You know, when I first got in here, all the other prisoners were like, "Man, forget that gangster rapper." Look, I'm not a gangster rapper. I rap about things that happened to me. I was shot 5 times. People were trying to kill me. It was all real like that. Now, growing up, I didn't have any of these hard features. I don't know, I just didn't feel hard. I mean, hey, I could cook, I could clean, I could sew, I could wash clothes, I could do anything my mother gave me. But she couldn't give me anything else. Now, I don't see myself as being special. I see myself as having more responsibilities than the next man. Because people always come to me to do things for them and to have answers. I never had those answers because my brain was half dead, and that was being in jail to me. But now, the excuse maker in Tupac is dead. The vengeful Tupac is dead. The Tupac that would stand by and let dishonorable things happen is dead. God let me live so that I can do something extremely extraordinary. And that's what I have to do. Even if they try to give me the maximum sentence, that is still my job. Now, rapping, I don't even get the thrill to rap anymore. And here, I can't even remember my own lyrics. I have a new album coming out, and it's called Me Against the World. And that is my truth. It's my best album yet, and since I already finished it, I can be free. You know, when you do rap albums, you have to train yourself to constantly be in character. Because you used to hear rappers talk all the hard stuff on the albums, but then you see them in suits at the American Music Awards. Now, I didn't want to be that type of rapper. I wanted to keep it real, and that's what I thought I was doing. But now, all of that is dead. That thug life, I did it.
I put in my work, I laid it down, but now it's dead. I feel like if it's real, then let somebody else represent it. Because I am tired of it. I think I represented it too much. I was thug life. I was the only person putting my life on the line when I have to represent life. But there's something else I understand now too. If we are really going to start saying that rap is an art form, then we have to be way more true to it, and we have to be more responsible for our lyrics. Because if you see everybody out there dying just because of what you're saying, it doesn't matter that you didn't make them die. It matters that you didn't save them. That's why I feel so close to people like Marvin Gaye. Because nobody really appreciated his work until after he was dead. Now it's worth millions. I feel close to him and how tormented he was because that's how I was out there. I'm in jail now, but I'm free. You know, my mind is free, and that is a gift. And everybody that said I wasn't anything, my goal is just to make them ashamed that they wrote me off like that. Because I'm only 23 years old, and I might just be my mother's child. But in all reality, I'm everybody's child. Nobody raised me. I was raised in this society. But that's not gonna be my excuse anymore. Because when I get out this prison, I am going to make a change. And my change is gonna make a change through the communities. And through that, they're gonna see what type of person I really was and what my heart was. That's why I said that all of the thug life stuff was straight ignorance. My heart was always in the right place. I never killed anybody. I never raped anybody. I never committed any crimes. Unless I was defending myself. And that's what I'm gonna show people. I'm gonna show them my true intentions and my true heart. I'm gonna show them the man that society raised. And it's gonna make them all proud. My mom once told me that I am a natural born leader because I'm a good soldier. And we're all soldiers, unfortunately. Everybody's at war with different things, with ourselves. Some are at war with the establishment, some with our own communities. With me, I don't know, it's always different things at different times. It's my own heart sometimes because I feel like there's two different people inside of me. It's Tupac, the son of the Black Panther, and it's Tupac, the rider. Now, my mom had envisioned this world for us to live in, and she strove to make that world. But in my own life, I saw that that world was impossible to have. So I had to teach my mother how to live in the world like it is today, while my mother taught me how to live in the world that we strive for. And for that, I am forever grateful. My mom put heaven in my heart, so that no matter what happened to me, I was always ready to live, or ready to die.
In sixth place, from Elk Grove Village, Kevin Quatman. In fifth place, from Byron, Trent Eisfeller. In fourth place, from Rock Island High School, Greer Burke Anderson. In third place, from Wheaton North, Jack Kehoe. In second place, from Downers Grove North, Travis True. And in first place, the state champion in original comedy from Riverside, Brookfield, Zane Gazelderly.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh?
From Riverside, Brookfield, Zane Gazelderly.
And that was Darwin's theory. Oh my God, 7 straight hours of studying? It's gotta be some kind of record. But I'm so prepared. You know, next week when I wake up to take those AP tests, I'm gonna wake up to the world and I'm gonna say, good morning, AP Day. Every test is a poke to the brain. Every night is a fantasy. I have to study from 5 to 3. And I love you, AP Day. And that day when I take 2 those tests, the world's gonna wake up and say, God, Eddie, you are so gay. Mom, I'm not gay. Really? You're singing show tunes? Well, I mean, you have a poster of Barry Manilow in your room, and you know all the words to It's Raining Men. You're gay, sweetheart. And look, that is between you and me, all right? Look, how come you've never tried talking to a girl? Well, you know, I did once. I went up to her and I said, hi, Cindy, I like the way your body looks under your clothes. Would you like some money? You want some money? Was she a hooker? Look, honey, there were 2 kinds of girls in this world. The ones you marry and the ones that give you the itchies. And I want none of those chicks running around my house. Mom, look. One day, when I'm ready to settle down, I'll find somebody. Well, yeah. And his name will be Bruce. Well, I've had enough verbal castration for one evening, so if you'll excuse me, I gotta get back to studying. You know, AP classes, they're a killer. Ape? I never know what you children are talking about with your slang. No, Mom. AP classes stand for Advanced Placement Classes. They're college-level courses that I get to take in high school. And if I do well in them, I don't have to take them when I get to college. Relax, Liza. Look, why don't you go take a nice hot shower and then you can come back and finish studying later, all right? Shampoo twice. God. What is this? AP Biology? Darwin? Monkeys turning into naked people? Oh my God! Shayla, come here. What does this look like to you? My ex-husband. Oh God! Look, I'm calling an emergency meeting. Something has got to be done about these classes. Eddie, your Aunt Sheila and I are running out. We'll be back shortly. It's raining men. Oh, hallelujah, it's rain. Oh, my loofah. Thank you both so much for coming, Principal White and our local pastor. This is my sister Sheila. She'll be taking notes. Now, before we get started, are there any questions either of you might have? Yes, Principal White, go ahead. While we're in a jiffy loop, you know, I know it's a little unorthodox that I'm holding this meeting here in my garage, but you have to understand we have a major problem in our schools. It starts with an A and it ends with a P. Episcopalian. You know, wait, apple pie, oh my God, you know, I love apple pie. Do you know what I love? Big, strong, manly man. Shayla, stop talking, take your notes. No, Principal White, I'm not talking about apple pie, and I'm pretty sure Episcopalian starts with an E. You know, it doesn't matter. Look, I'm literally talking about AP classes. It's not a word game. Ape. No, you're not listening to me. You're gonna listen to me, crazy woman. You came into my house and told me the school was on fire.
So I get in your car, and the whole time that we're driving over here, I gotta listen to Barbra Streisand, Shania Twain, and Bette Midler. Ain't nothing get more white than that. You want the women to eat my wings? Bull, shut up, you stupid fool. If you hadn't endorsed APs 5 years ago, I'd have more children in church reading the Word of God on Sunday instead of Darwin and his naked people. I've seen your textbooks. What's Pastor Potato Head doing here? The name is Pastor Aidan Brennan Conley Daniels Liam Neeson Seamus Monaghan Patrick O'Toole Rodriguez. The third. Pastor by day and whoa man, I don't even want to know what you're doing at night, all right? What you do in your time is completely your business. Word of the wise. Might want to do something about them eyebrows. Look like Albert Einstein and a Furby were having way too much fun, and you were the product. Look, I don't understand. We don't need them here. We ain't in your church. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're in your garage. I cannot keep anything straight. I can help you keep things. Sheila! I swear to God, you interrupt us one more time, and I'm going to sucker punch you in the breadbasket, all right? Now, look, Principal White, you're not seeing the big picture here. I mean, with AP classes, all my son does is study, and he's been showering with a loofah. Do you know, Jay had a problem like that once. All the seniors from the high school used to break in on Saturday night and drink the communion wine to get their happies. So one night, I laced all the bottles with arsenic. Oh my God, Pastor! I don't want to kill anyone. Oh, neither did I. You better stop winking at me. It's starting to freak me out. Look, you see, you don't understand. See, I can't do anything without the school board's approval. Why don't you just bribe them? Oh, now you think I'm made of money? You know, I'm still driving around in a 76 Pinto. You may drive a Pinto, but I think you're a stallion. Sheila! Sucker punch! Oh, my God! You know what? I knew this was going to happen. We have accomplished nothing since we have been here. Until we find a solution to this problem, none of you are leaving my garage. Do you understand me? Look, okay. I'll see what I can do about these classes. All you got to do is promise to let us go. And give me that rake, that shovel, and that gardening hoe. I don't garden anymore, but I'm down with that. Sheila! Break your jaw! Eddie, honey, what are you doing in here? Mom? Aunt Sheila? Principal White? Pastor Aidan, Brennan, Conley, Daniels, Liam Neeson, Seamus Monaghan, Patrick O'Toole, Rodriguez III. What are you people doing in my garage? You're too late, Eddie. Your principal's already agreed to get rid of your AP classes. No, Eddie, man, this ain't a bribe, man. See, Jiffy Lube, and there was a rake and a hoe. It was your aunt. No, I mean, we were gardening, and I'm gonna stop talking. No, but what about all the sacrilegious messages and the naked people? Naked people? Really, Mom? I mean, this is a picture of monkeys in their habitat. That's an ape. See, I told y'all it was an ape. Oh, my God. No one ever listens to me. It feels so good to be right. And as for your sacrilegious messages, I mean, they're just theories, Mom. I mean, if I want to believe in them, I will. That'll be my choice. It is not your choice, okay? I'm going to be the person that I want to be. God, Eddie, you're so gay. I mean, everyone in here knows now. You can stop dropping your little hints. But you know what? I'm your mother, and I love you so much. I see how important these classes are to you, and I can't take them away. I just want you to be happy. I love you too, Mom. Now, if you'll all excuse me, I'll be studying at the library. Say hi to Bruce for me. Oh, I will. No, wait, Mom, no, no!
There were 6 finalists in the final round of original oratory. In 6th place, from Aurora, Illinois Math and Science Academy, Sid Sapru. In 5th place, from Harrisburg, Rihanna Mahan. In 4th place, from Belleville West, Jessica Petrie. In 3rd place, from Glenbard West, Annie Houghton Larson. In 2nd place, from Downers Grove South, Chelsea Rice Davis. And in 1st place, from Palos Heights Shepherd, Jasmine Lockett.
Global poverty is the most significant problem facing the world today. According to a 2007 study conducted by the United Nations, 73% of the world's population lives under the poverty line. This was my focus over the summer when I began to think about what I wanted to write this speech on. However, as fall came, so did the biggest economic collapse this country has seen in 70 years. A collapse that Thomas Friedman, author of book Flat, Hot, and Crowded, directly attributes to our lack of a fundamental understanding of money and credit. According to him, the average American has no ability to manage their own credit, let alone become a force for positive economic reform and rescue. We need to address the fact that Americans are economically illiterate and irresponsible, and this has led to families in crisis. However, all is not lost. By examining some causes and harms of this problem, hopefully we can balance the checkbook and find some solutions that'll have us all in the black. When my brother came home from college for the Thanksgiving holiday, I expected him to walk in the door with a tattoo, several hickeys, and tales of debauchery. What I didn't expect was for him to have 5 maxed out credit cards. This, in a nutshell, a horribly irresponsible nutshell, is a picture of the causes of this problem. People in this country don't understand the basic functions of money and credit. In his book, Financial Peace, David Ramsey states that the average American household lives in debt and ignores it. But that, according to Ramsey, isn't really the problem, though. The main reason he states we find ourselves in a sinking boat isn't because of debt. It is because parents don't have conversations with their children regarding money and its ramifications. According to a 2007 study conducted by the University of Pittsburgh, 87% of parents say that they never discuss financial matters with their children in a meaningful way. In fact, most parents said that they found the conversation uncomfortable because they themselves didn't feel they had an adequate understanding of the subject. This problem of ignorance is further reinforced in our schools. In a study done by the Schroeder Foundation, it was found that students will spend more time adding up units of change in grade school than they will reading, talking, and even thinking about financial matters in high school. In Illinois, for example, a student need only take 1 semester of economics-based class in order to graduate. And this could include a freshman-level business class. At no point Are we expected to truly understand money and how it works? I mean, the best advice I've yet to get regarding money management came from my grandfather, who told me that if I ever found myself at an ATM after midnight and I wasn't going to the hospital or bailing him out of jail, that I might as well just go home right now, because that night wasn't going anywhere positive. Well, that, and when my dad told me that if I ever got a Cubs logo on a credit card, he'd kill me. Huge White Sox fan. Have you ever heard that the love of money is the root of all evil? Well, after examining some of the harms of our fiscal ignorance, I'm starting to believe that money, and not Rush Limbaugh, is the linchpin for most of our problems. The harms are twofold, though. You see, when we are irresponsible with our money, we become one of the many at the mercy of our mistakes, both financially and personally. To begin with, when we don't know what to do with our money or how money even works, we become slaves to it. In her book, The Money Book for the Young, Fabulous, and Broke, Susie Orman explains how our national financial illiteracy is most to blame for people destroying their credit ratings. According to her, the mistakes people make between the ages of 18 and 25 years of age can cost them approximately $1 million over their lifetime. And this is because they will always be more likely to pay a higher interest rate. So, this means that your first credit card purchase at Hot Topic for that insert 80s band shirt not only looks terrible on you, but it has a good chance of impacting your ability to buy a car, get a student loan, or even buy a home. All of a sudden, insert 80s band isn't so cool now. Well, there is also a personal element to this problem, one that may actually be more significant. Joan Ryan says in her book, Personal Financial Literacy, that 84% of divorces can be directly attributed to financial troubles. Additionally, she suggests that the degree to which people identify with a high quality of life is correlative to their financial status. Now, this doesn't mean that money buys happiness, but rather an absence of anxiety over money can help one find their happiness. In a May 2007 article in Newsweek, Caitlin Petrie explains how after 18 years of a quality education, including a master's from NYU, she found herself unable to balance her checkbook, understand her credit, or manage her finances so that they worked for her. In fact, she fell victim to predatory lending and credit card fraud, and now moonlights as a waitress in order to climb out of the hole she dug herself into. According to her, what will take 3 years to fix could have been avoided by a simple 3-month class that focused on functional financial literacy. So, let's get fiscal. In order to solve this problem, we are going to have to face it directly. Now, I realize I am a 17-year-old attempting to solve a crisis that not even our top economists have been able to solve. But I'd like to share with you some things that I have seen and what has helped me, and hopefully come up with some ideas to fix our financial problems. In his book, Financial Literacy for Teens, Chad Foster outlines a curriculum that focuses on teenagers understanding and applying real-world skills in classroom settings. However, schools can't do it all. We need to start having conversations across the dinner table. Susie Orman points to families who share their bookkeeping practices with their kids in order for them to learn hands-on. Now, according to her, this will mean that parents are going to have to start sharing a lot of personal mistakes. But this is the only way that kids can really learn. And finally, we all need to become more comfortable with sharing our financial situations. When I was working on this speech, I questioned a few members of my own family about their financial status. And I was completely shocked at how quickly that led to people shutting down. We have seen how sharing info has helped teenagers learn about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It will also work for money. So I guess I don't have time to discuss the issues surrounding global poverty. I hope that by focusing on our own local financial situations, that we can fix the problem we face in this country and become a people who respect money for what it is, a tool with which to work. And by focusing on the causes, harms, and solutions associated with this issue, we can do just that. And then, maybe in a few years, someone else can get up here and tell us all about what we can do to help the rest of the world.
Would the finalists for poetry reading please come to the stage? From Riverside, Brookfield, Ariana Barreto. In fifth place, from Belleville West, Adam Meyring. In fourth place, from Thornwood, Johari Mackey. In third place, from Downers Grove South, Jenny McCarthy. In second place, from Rock Island High School, Michelle Bauer. And your state champion in poetry reading from Charleston, Kevin Giffen.
The record label puts me on the shelf up in the freezer. Gotta find another way to live the life of leisure, so I try.
Thump, 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 bare feet hitting the grass as I run, run, run. In the air and like the air, weaving through the trees, skimming over the ground, touching down. Thump, 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 here and there and here in that soft, damp grass. Thump, 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 knowing I could fly, 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 but letting my feet thump, 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 touch the earth. At least for now. Poet Jean Cocteau once observed, "The poet doesn't invent. He listens." Just like listening to the natural rhythms of a poem, we listen to the natural rhythms of our world. From those first faint thumpings of our hearts, a journey begins. And sometimes, even during some of the earliest stages and footsteps of this journey, we can learn the most about these rhythms, thumpings, and ourselves. Heartbeat by Sharon Creech. I was worried about my mother who started taking naps and stopped eating and threw up in the kitchen sink and in the bathroom and in the car. And I was pretty sure she had a deadly disease and she would shrivel into nothing and she would die. But my mother did not die. She does not have a deadly disease. Instead, she has a baby growing inside her, little tiny cells multiplying every second. And we look at the books which show cells multiplying, and it seems miraculous and strange and sometimes creepy. And I ask her as if it feels as if an alien is inside her, and she says sometimes, yes. The baby is going to share my room with me, and I am glad the baby will be with me. Grandpa lives with us, and he says the baby should have his room, that he should just get on with it and kick the bucket to make room for that baby. And my mother tells Grandpa that he cannot kick the bucket because the alien baby needs to see its grandpa. Mom says that she has a surprise for me and Dad and Grandpa, and she makes us close our eyes as she rummages in her purse, and then she says, open. And then I remember that today my mother was going to have an ultrasound, and that this must be a picture of the baby. I am horrified. It looks like a little skeleton head, and it does not look at all cute, and I am feeling so sorry for us that we are going to have such a frightening-looking baby. But my mother explains that we are seeing the bones of the head like an X-ray, and that, of course, there is flesh on it. Mom patted Grandpa's hand and told me and my father that maybe we should stop calling the baby the alien baby because it can hear, and we should call it something nicer so it will not get its feelings hurt. We are calling the alien baby the pumpkin baby now. Partly because it looks as if my mother is carrying a pumpkin in there. Twice a week at school, we have art class with Miss Freely. Yesterday, Miss Freely said we were going to draw apples. She let each of us choose an apple from a basket. Mine was yellow, with green freckles on one side and an orange blush on the other. Miss Freely said, take the apple home with you, draw the same apple each day for 100 days. It did seem like a lot, but I drew apple number 1. It looked like an apple, which is the best I can say for it. After dinner, my mother eases herself onto the sofa and props up her feet. Oh, she says suddenly. My mother says that's the baby kicking, so I sit beside her as she places my hand on her abdomen. And I wait. And all evening, all I can think about is the thing moving and growing inside my mother. I have been feeling so proud that I have not lost my apple. I've been hoping to keep mine right up until the 100th drawing. The first 10 looked pretty much alike, which was starting to bother me, and then one day when I was out running, I was thinking about how I usually see the undersides of leaves and how I would have to climb the trees to see the leaves from the top. And I thought of my apple. I could drop from the top, looking down on it, and from underneath, looking up at it. I could put it on its side. And I couldn't wait to get home to draw it, but I could not find my apple. I always leave it in the same place on my windowsill, but I searched my whole room and then the rest of the house, and then I peeked into Grandpa's room, and I was about to close the door again when I saw it. My apple on his nightstand with one bite taken out of it. I feel sad for my poor bitten apple, but as I am leaving the room, I get an idea. I will draw the apple with a bite out of it, and then I will draw the apple with 2 bites out of it, and on, a shrinking apple vanishing until there is just a core remaining. We're having a baby. Today, labor is the right word. It is work, hard work for the mother's body. I'm on one side of her, Dad on the other. An assistant enters and checks the baby's heart rate, whispers to the midwife, and there is no urgency now. The midwife's face is sober, serious, her hands working rapidly, her voice tight, saying something about the shoulder and something about pushing, but my mother seems not to hear her, so we have to speak loudly to her. Push, push now! The baby comes out just like that in a sudden rush into the midwife's gloved hands. And the next instant, the baby is lying there on the blue sheet. And the baby is not moving. My father and I stare at the baby, grayish and motionless. The midwife and the assistant work rapidly, clearing the baby's nose and mouth, and I am thinking, how can the baby not be alive when it was moving and its heart was beating just minutes ago? And how can all of this, all the morning sickness and the backaches and the growing belly and the dreaming and the labor and the pushing, how can it not all end with a living, breathing baby? How could we bear it? The midwife says just a couple puffs of oxygen is all we need. I see the oxygen tube, hear a soft noise. And there is the baby, squirming and crying and breathing. And I have a brother, Joey. The baby has perfect hands and feet and fingers and toes and ears and eyes and nose. And it is a human baby, which is a great relief. Grandpa and baby Joy and I are looking through my apple folder. As Grandpa turns the page to the 100th apple, he takes the baby's finger, and together they trace the drawing. A small, shiny brown seed, tear-shaped, both old and new, silent and full of secrets. My mother says I was running inside her before I was even born. She could feel my legs whirling, thump, 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 and she says that when I was born, I came out with my legs racing as if I would take off right then, right there, and dash straight out of her life. She says it made her laugh, and it scared her too, because she'd only just met me, and she didn't want me to race away quite so soon. I tell her not to worry, that I will always come home, because that is where I get my start.
There were 7 finalists in the final round of prose reading. A finalist from Harvey Thornton, Lamar Hawkins. In 6th place, from Downers Grove North, Mike Duffy. In 5th place, from New Trier, Frank Austin. In 4th place, from Downers Grove South, Tess Modi. In 3rd place, from Glenbrook South, Anna Benstein. In 2nd place, from Oaklawn Community, Bob Beeland. And your state champion in prose reading from Wabansie Valley, Lauren Campbell.
I was 18 when I walked into the theater at Kenyon College for my freshman audition, and nothing could break my concentration. Except for that boy standing in the wings. He looked up as his name was called over the PA system. Patrick Romano, please report to the stage. He was next. I watched from the wings as he cursed his way through a tense monologue from David Mamet's American Buffalo. And then, in a soft and clear tenor voice, sang Metaphor from the Fantastics. Patrick's presence aside, my audition was not hindered by nerves, and afterwards, as I happily ran off stage, Patrick was standing there waiting. He wore dark blue jeans, a gray t-shirt, and tennis shoes. He looked delicious. You and I are going to rock this department, Monica Peterson. He said you and I. Every day we are forced to make choices. Wake up or hit the snooze button. Shave or wait another day. Waffles or pancakes. And while some choices may have a limited impact, others can alter the rest of our lives. It is then that we are forced to make the ultimate choice. Find the strength to carry on or give up. In her memoir, Monica Holloway recounts her personal experience and her struggles with self-acceptance and forgiveness in Driving with Dead People by Monica Holloway. A month into school, Patrick offered to drop me off at home for the weekend. I agreed. I would have done anything to be with Patrick. He picked me up at my dorm, and I hopped into his car and got as close to him as I could. His girlfriend didn't matter, religion didn't matter, and the fact that I had to straddle a console between the seats didn't matter. I was obsessed with this boy. The next thing I knew, he had pulled off onto a small side road and we had bungled our way into the back seat. If we were going to do this, I was going to make sure we were safe. I asked him if he had any protection. We don't need that, he responded. I don't carry them because I'm sterile. I had radiation 2 years ago and well, he took a deep, dramatic breath. I sat perfectly still. Now, I will never see the faces of my children. That was taken from me. Tears started rolling down his cheeks. He asked me not to tell anyone. Of course not, I said, trying to imagine any conversation where it would be appropriate to interject. Oh, and by the way, Patrick's sterile. Against my better judgment, things happened. A month into play rehearsals, I came down with the flu. My hair wasn't washed, my face was pale, and I couldn't have cared less. I felt lousy. 3 days later at the theater, we did a full run of the play. My character was dying of tuberculosis, and one of her lines was, "I was so much stronger before I got pregnant." When I said those words, I knew with absolute certainty I did not have the flu. I was pregnant. That next morning, I rode my 12-speed bike to Planned Parenthood. The doctor did a pelvic exam, which was surprisingly painful. My head was pounding. The nurse walked in with the urine test results, and I said, "I'm pregnant, aren't I?" She looked at me with a solemn smile and nodded. "You most definitely are." The room buckled in on me. I struggled to breathe. I couldn't believe it. I was too smart for this. I turned to the nurse. "I can't keep this pregnancy." The doctor asked how it was that I had unprotected sex. I paused. I slept with someone I didn't know very well, and he told me he was sterile. The doctor put her hand on top of mine. "That's the oldest trick in the book." I stormed out of that clinic. But what about his tears? What about the faces of his never-to-be-realized children? I hated myself. I hated everything about me. I was a smart person, and yet I had gotten myself into this situation in the dumbest, most obvious way possible. And now, as an 18-year-old girl, I had to make the most important decision of my life. I needed help. More than a knight in shining armor, I needed a cavalry. I was in a panic to get to Patrick. I rode my bike up his driveway, walked into his house, opened the door to his bedroom, and straddled his sleeping body, pinning him under the covers. You lied to me. He lay, trying to focus his sleepy eyes. "I'm pregnant. You told me you were sterile." "Whoa, I'm not sterile?" "Well, that's good news." "Oh, for me, I guess. We'll think of something. Anything," he said. I left, went home and jumped into the shower. I glanced down at my stomach, expecting it to be sticking out, even though I was only 4 or 5 weeks pregnant. I put my face under the hot water and let it run into my eyes and nose and mouth. Everything was a blur. There was no one in the world I would tell about this. No one. That night, I showed up at the theater pale and terrified. I ran into Patrick in the hall. He can't help me. He says he thinks I'm framing him, that it's probably not even his. He wouldn't help me. As he walked away, I watched him through the glass doors. I wanted to slit his throat. Once this thing was out of my body, I would deal with Patrick. Ironically enough, he had been right about one thing. Now, he never would see the face of his child. As I walked into the theater, my director, Mr. Whitfield, smiled at me. Monica, you're doing a beautiful job. Your character really seems like she's dying, not easy to pull off, he said. Easier than you'd think, I replied, and pushed past him into the dressing room. Knowing there is no cavalry is far better than waiting for a cavalry that never comes. I'm strong because I have to be. I am the cavalry.
Could I have the finalists in radio speaking, please? In 6th place from Wheaton Warrenville South, Brianne Paver. Wow, I should have counted. In 5th place from Nequa Valley, Iman Rahim. In 4th place from Oaklawn Community, Claire Ford. In 3rd place from Downers Grove North, Mike Duffy. In 2nd place from Belleville East, Iman Musa. And your tournament champion in radio speaking, from Schaumburg, Shayna Cavazos.
Security alert put out for terror attacks suspected in Saudi Arabia. American Airlines flight safely diverted to Los Angeles, and firecracker set off in CTA tunnel. Good evening. This is Shayna Cavazos with WORK. We never stop bringing you news. Our program today is sponsored by Visual Image Photography, proven excellence in products and services. In international news, Interpol has put out an international security alert for 85 alleged terrorists suspected of plotting attacks against Saudi Arabia. The International Police Agency says Saudi authorities requested the alert, and the agency has never been asked to issue such an alert for so many suspects at one time. Interpol announced the alert in a statement Tuesday. Russia's foreign minister says that Moscow will consider allowing the U.S. and NATO to ship weaponry across its territory to Afghanistan. Sergei Lavrov said Wednesday that Russia was ready to take additional steps to help U.S. and NATO forces get supplies to Afghanistan to deal with rising Taliban and al-Qaeda violence. He was asked whether Russia could allow weaponry in addition to non-lethal cargo. He responded that additional steps are also possible. Moving to California, officials say an American Airlines flight on its way out to Chicago from John Wayne Airport in California's Orange County was diverted after one of its engines went out. American Airlines spokesman Billy Sanez says the engine on Flight 1236 died just minutes after takeoff at 3:21 p.m. Sunday. The 757, carrying 149 passengers and a crew of 6, was diverted to Los Angeles International Airport. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano says the federal government will deviate from normal practice and reimburse Kentucky for 75% of the cost of activating its National Guard after a crippling winter storm. At a news conference in Frankfurt, Napolitano called last month's storm in Kentucky the worst in more than a century. Taking a look at local news, Authorities say someone set off a firecracker in a tunnel that connects two Chicago Transit Authority underground train lines, sending spooked commuters scrambling for the exits. The incident occurred around 6:40 p.m. on Tuesday. Chicago Transit Authority spokeswoman Sheila Gregory says police found a firecracker in the tunnel that connects the Blue Line with the Red Line at the downtown Jackson Street station. State Senator Dan Rutherford is trying to put the brakes on texting while driving in Illinois. The Pontiac Republican says violators would pay $75 under his proposal, but they'd pay $200 if they cause an accident. Rutherford says he got the idea for legislation after he saw a driver who was texting while trying to steer with her elbows. He says he also noticed a child in the back seat of the vehicle. I'll have the latest in sports and weather right after this. Visual image photography is the official photographic service authorized to provide fans attending IHSA state finals with action and award photographs of the participants. Visual image photography provides exceptional photography services for athletes, seniors, families, and associations. With over 50 photographers on staff, VIP can supply all of your photography needs. High standards and strong company values mold and cultivate visual image photography. VIP, proven excellence in products and services. Returning with sports. German star Maria Riesch crashed during downhill training Wednesday at the World Championships, injuring a ligament in her left knee and bruising her back. The German Ski Federation said no further injuries were found after x-rays. Riesch will decide Thursday if she will train, but she plans to race Friday. After her crash, Riesch got up and skied down the rest of her course. Action heats up in the NBA as Denver crushed Golden State 103-79. Indiana defeated Memphis 94-86, and Miami beat our own Chicago Bulls 90-83. And now for the WORK weekend weather forecast. Today will be cloudy with some flurries later. There will be a high of 15 and a low in the single digits. Tomorrow brings not as cold conditions with a high of 30 and a low in the teens. This has been Shayna Cavazos with WORK. We never stop bringing you news. Our program today was sponsored by Visual Image Photography, proven excellence in products and services. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
There were 6 finalists in SOS. In 6th place, from Lincoln, Todd Schumacher. In 5th place, from Olympia Fields, Rich Central, Cecil Bletcher. In 4th place, from Carbondale, Jordan Batchelor. In 3rd place, from Downers Grove South, Tess Modi. In 2nd place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Jake Benassi. And your state champion in special occasion speaking, from Wheaton North, Tierra Novi. Champion in SOS, from Wheaton North, Tierra Novi.
Okay, so before I start my speech, I just wanted to get your opinions on a few things. Like my shoes. They're Gucci. You like them? And this hair clip, you know, I figured it'd make me look more professional with the suit and all the hair clip. Does it dazzle? Okay, I know I'm coming off a bit trite, but I just really wanted you to like me. No? Oh. Hi, I'm Tiara Novi, and I'm a people pleaser. You understand how it is. Much of what we do as student council members is done for the good of others. Like last year's blood drive, where we all gave the required 1 pint, but Kevin, you gave 4. That's just blood type being a moron. Or this year's daddy-daughter dance, when Sarah didn't want to go with her daddy, so you went with Sarah's daddy. Now her daddy's in jail, you strumpet. But in one way or another, we've learned that the bend over backwards to please everyone mentality is a little uncomfortable. That's why I'm here, as your student council president, taking the initiative to talk to you about people pleasing. Specifically today, we'll look at the problem with always seeking approval, why we do it, and how to brown nose just a little bit less. Let's face it, we all want to be liked. The problem with us approval seekers is when we base our decisions not on what we believe, but on what others may think. To some degree, we're all guilty of this. Like, I admit the only reason why I walked over here was because I thought you guys might like my speech better from this point. No? Okay, then I'll go back. But voracious approval seekers base their entire existence on what someone else thinks, whether it's a real person in their life or the ubiquitous they, as in they say you should always keep to your right when stating your first point. Oh. Dr. Harriet B. Breaker, psychologist and author of Who's Pulling Your Strings, calls this the disease to please. Victims feel the uncontrollable need for the elusive approval of others and find it easy to say yes when really they mean no. Just ask Susie, our former vice president of student council, who when asked to give to our school's Christmas sharing, found that she couldn't stop. Now Susie's a hobo. People like Susie wear people-pleasing and niceness like self-defense camouflage, when really they're concealing anger and resentment underneath that happy face. Case in point, Walmart greeters. You know that when they hand you a cart and a smile and say, "Welcome to Walmart," they really mean, "Welcome to my personal hell. My dignity is in aisle 3. People-pleasing manifests itself in a whole slew of negative behaviors, like the inability to achieve goals, low self-esteem, and lying. In 2004, the University of Santa Barbara conducted a study and asked their students to record every single lie they told for an entire week. Lies like, "I'll call you," or "I'm not seeing anyone," or "I'm not gay, I just like my faux hawk." Not surprisingly, the study found that these students lied to over 38% of the people that they came in contact with on a day-to-day basis. And that's the truth. So stop lying around, and let's talk causes. Linda Tillman, a psychologist at Emory University, says that the typical people pleaser is someone who lacks an internal compass to help gauge the values of their own actions. As a result, they spend their lives looking for validation from others. To complicate this, many of us may be doing it, and we don't even realize it. Martha Beck of Oprah Winfrey's magazine, or as housewives call it, the Bible, says that people pleasers often think they're being saintly or angelic when they let others have their way with them for just a hint of praise. Martha goes as far as to call these people approval whores. But begging the question, Martha, where are the approval pimps? And when they gonna get their money? The answer is that they're all around us. Yes, once established, our people-pleasing and approval-seeking behaviors are reinforced by family members, friends, coworkers, and the chess team. They treat us like pawns. Another factor is the media and our society's insistent message that you're not likable unless you're beautiful, sexy, or just me. This is creating a whole new generation of women known as fashionistas. women who obsess over the latest fashion trends to seek the approval of men who couldn't care less. We pay for this approval every time we take a step. The American Orthopedic Foot and Ankle Society found that 90% of all women routinely wear shoes that are 1 to 2 sizes too narrow to make their feet look more petite. This accounts for 80% of all foot surgeries within the past year. Talk about hard to heal. But we need to make sure that we're not letting everyone walk all over us, especially when they're wearing stilettos. So how do we find a cure for this disease to please? Well, Elizabeth Vaboda of Psychology Today advocates a well-thought-out policy of temperance. Retain positive people-pleasing traits like friendliness or sensitivity. When someone asks you something, ask yourself if it's feasible. If it is, then do it, but if not, then politely decline. Although Vaboda does not recommend quitting our people-pleasing habits cold turkey. She says, abstinence is not the cure. Bet you're glad for that, faux hawk boy. Our Dr. Breaker reminds us that sometimes it's okay not to be so nice. Take the case of Edna Jester, an 89-year-old Ohio woman who grew tired of the neighborhood boys always throwing their footballs and baseballs into her yard. So one day, Edna fought back, and she kept footballs and baseballs until the point where one of the boys' fathers called the cops and had her thrown in jail. What can I say? Edna's got balls. But what Edna also has is the ability to stand up for what she believes is right. I wish I had this courage years ago. When I was in just 3rd grade, I had a certain friend of mine who I always looked up to, even when she made demeaning and hurtful comments to me. I felt like if I could just make her like me more, this nastiness would subside. Well, it didn't. And it wasn't until 8 years later that I finally realized I didn't need her kind of friendship anymore. My approval-seeking behavior was bringing me nothing but unhappiness. As student council members, we have to say no to administrators, class sponsors, and especially crack. It's whack. If Edna can do it, why can't we all? So today, we've looked at people-pleasing, the what, the why, and the God help me stop. Barbra Streisand once sang, people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Well, we are lucky. But when we prioritize others' needs before our own, it keeps us from making our hopes and dreams our hopes and dreams. So, student council members, instead of worrying about if your hair clip's going to be a smash hit or not, be a little bit more like Edna. Above all, realize that you don't have to be liked to be worth liking. I'm Tiara Novi, and I approve this message.
In 5th place with 13 points, the team from Downers Grove North. There was no 4th place, there was a tie for 3rd. And of course, the top 3 teams receive trophies and medallions. So we're going to do something a little differently just for the sake of the pictures. I'll call the first team up. You'll take pictures with the trophy and medallions, and then we'll switch off. It's going to be great. You're going to love this. It's going to be an adventure. Okay. In a tie for 3rd place with 15 points, the team from Charleston.
I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, I'm out of time and all
Also in third place with 15 points, the team from Wheaton North.
I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, eh? I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. Come on. Yeah. Break down, come on.
Come on, boy, I've been waiting for somebody to pick up my straw. Well, don't waste time, give me the sign, tell me how you want to roll. I want somebody to speed it up for me, then take it down slow. There's enough room for both. Well, I can handle that, you just gotta show me where it's at. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? If you want it, you already got it. If you thought it, it better be what you want. If you feel it, it must be real, just say the word.
In second place, with 22 points, the team from Warren.
Someone help me, it's not healthy for me to feel this way. Oh, you are making this hard. I can't take it, see it don't feel right. SOS, please, someone help me. It's not healthy for me to feel this way. Oh, you are making this hard. You got me tossing and turning, can't sleep at night. This time, please, someone come and rescue me. 'Cause you on my mind, it's got me losing it. I'm lost, you got me looking for the rest of me. Love is testing me, but still I'm losing it. This time, please, someone come and rescue me. 'Cause you on my mind, it's got me losing it. I'm lost, you got me looking for the rest of me. Got the best of me, so now I'm losing it. Just your presence in a second gets my sanity. Yes, it's a lesson, it's a phase for my vanity. My tummy's up and that's when I see you get so hot. My common sense is out the door, can't seem to find the light. Take me, you know it's sad you feel it right. Take me on, I could just tie up in your arms tonight. I'm out with you, you got me head over heels. Boy, you keep me hanging on the way you make me feel. SOS, please, someone help me. It's not healthy for me to feel this way. Oh, you are making this hard. You got me tossing and turning, can't sleep at night. This time, please, someone come and rescue me. 'Cause you on my mind, it's got me losing it. I'm lost, you got me looking for the rest of me. Love is testing me, but still I'm losing it. This time, please, someone come and rescue me. 'Cause you on my mind, it's got me losing it. I'm lost, you got me looking for the rest of me. Got the best of me, so now I'm losing it. Boy, you know you got me feeling open, and boy, your love's enough with words unspoken. I said, boy, I'm telling you, you got me open. I don't know what to do, it's true, I'm going crazy over you. I'm begging, SOS, please, somebody help me. It's not healthy for me to feel this way. Oh, you are making this hard. You got me tossing and turning, can't see.
While they're exiting the stage, I forgot to give you one reminder earlier. And that is that if you are interested at all in having a DVD filmed in high definition of the award ceremony, as well as all of the interviews and footage that were taken Friday, You were given order forms in your gift bags. You can turn those in at the registration desk in the lobby before you leave tonight. You can also mail them to Belleville West High School. All the instructions are on them, or you can get them online. Tell your parents. In first place, with 29 points, the team from Downers Grove South.
It was a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed the trail toward freedom. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It was sung.
It was sung by immigrants as they struck out to distant shores of pioneers who pushed westward against the unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballots, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier,
and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land.
Yes, we can to justice and equality.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can to opportunity and prosperity. Yes, we can to opportunity and prosperity. Yes, we can heal this nation.
Heal this nation.
Yes, we can repair this world. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.